All right, Lady Ada, what is this?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Show and Tell. It's your OG host, me, Miss Lady Ada, Mr. Lady Ada. Next 20-ish minutes, we're going to check in with people from around the community. What are they making? Hacking, soldering, coding, sewing, knitting, crafting, 3D printing, whatever you're making. And I'm sure everyone here watching is making stuff. Come by. We're in StreamYard. Go to Discord for the link. All you need is a webcam and your friendly face. Although sometimes people wear masks. You don't even have to show your friendly face.
Yeah.
But we're going to check in with some folks from the Adafruit community, see what
Just
they're
gives
up
you
to.
a chance to check out what we're doing. Right before our show and tell, we usually have a weekly video chat with all of our team, so you get a chance to see what's going on behind the scenes too. A lot of this stuff is what we just finished talking about. And speaking of, Scott, what you got going on this week?
Scott.
Hey, before I forget, I'm giving a tech talk tomorrow morning, or I'm part of a tech talk tomorrow morning with Scilabs. They make lots of different microcontrollers, and they asked us to join them there. I put the link in Discord, so sign up if you want to learn more about CircuitPython on Scilabs chips. So what I've been working on, this is on an ESP, is I got some feedback from you, Lamore, about us changing things without warning you.
I like how you can call it feedback and me just being like, yeah.
Yeah, so I already added a thing that makes it nice. Actually, I could show you. If we do import board.display.show, and I'll just give it none. But it'll now tell you, hey, like show's removed, use this thing instead. So I added that. And then this is like hot off the presses CircuitPython 9. So we're moving some things around. I split some things out of display IO. So now if you're just doing a blanket import, it will let you know, hey, like I raised an error to tell you that it's been moved. Now you can actually customize. So CPython has warnings, a warnings module, and by default, it actually doesn't raise an error, but I was already testing on this. I think that's why it did the error.
Yeah.
I can say simple filter, and then I can say ignore. And now if I do the import again, it just works. It didn't print anything. And then the default is always. So if I do it again, it will tell you, hey, these things moved.
Yeah.
And if you do import display IO and then display IO.display, which is what you might do as well, it will tell you there as well.
Okay.
And ignore that, and error works there as well.
Yeah, this is going to be really good because, like I know things get deprecated, but I'm so used to like C and CPython where you get some warnings about deprecations.
Right.
So I think this will help so that, we want to update documentation. And also I think it's nice that when there's something missing, we tell people how to fix it right there.
Yeah, totally.
Especially if it's like 6 words, it just keeps people from having to Google and try to find the information elsewhere. So I think this is going to be a great usability improvement. Yeah,
I hope so. And maybe with these future warnings, we'll actually be able to not do the thing which we're doing with show, which is like show doesn't actually work, but all this stuff will still work. It'll just also print the warning for you.
Yeah.
And you can turn it off if you don't want to update it and blah, blah, blah. So
hopefully
that'll make it easier for us to iterate and folks understand what changes are coming, not have already come.
Yes, this is good stuff. I feel like, we're really getting very good at CircuitPython releases and how to get, all the changes documented and, well understood. I mean, we'll be talking about this on the show, but, CPython is undergoing some changes with Raspberry Pi as well. And it's a lot going on. It's tough when we have a lot of documentation. We want to make sure that we stay current. We have, thousands of guides. So, onwards and upwards.
Yeah, and you can also, I just did the last thing I did here is to show that you can actually use it in libraries as well. So you can do warnings.warn and give it a message, and the settings of whether you print it, error, or ignore applies to those as well.
Okay.
All right, and Scilabs chat tomorrow, and then end of the week you're doing deep dive.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
So lots of time to update about all of the exciting 9.0 stuff. We're so close to having an alpha out. I'm very excited about it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much, Scott.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
Scott.
All right, JP, what you got going on this week?
Hey, so I've got my real life bleeding into the virtual world because we've got a whole lot of dust everywhere dealing with some construction that's going on. And I just can't get enough of cleaning things in the real world. So I also am enjoying cleaning things in the virtual world with a PowerWash simulation game called PowerWash Simulator. And what I've got going on with the project, this is a pressure washer gun with the guts removed. And inside of it, I have a cutie pie. I have a 9DOF sensor, the BNO 055, and I have a little WeChuck adapter, so I can use one of our little WeChucks that we have in the store. And as you can hear, I've also got a little piezo driver in there now for feedback. And one of the things that I've been working on that's new with this is we need a way to set relative offsets. If I'm going to play the game pointed at that screen there, I need to let it know that that's center, and so don't move the cursor until I move it off of center. And so that's how I'm using one of the functions on the WeChuck, which also has its own little accelerometer. When I tilt up, it says, okay, you're tilted up. And now when I press the C button, that is resetting my offsets to the position that I'm at. So I'll show this in practice just by taking.
Yeah. Let's see what I really like. Okay.
Okay. So here's the game.
Yeah.
And you can see it's kind of drifting. So if I want that to be center, there we go. I just centered it, and now it doesn't move while I'm pointed there. Now I can use the trigger on the Wii to turn on the power washing there and clean the thing. And I'm also using the WeChuck for the WASD keys. So this is a mouse and keyboard type of game usually. So now I can move around, whip around the van to the other side. And I've got a few other features on here now. I can change the nozzle. If you look at my nozzle color, it just changed to green. This is going to be a different angle. So now I've got like a really laser focused one for really bad dirt. And this is a double tap that's being recognized by this BNO sensor. And then I can also do things like change the nozzle angle. So if I tap C when I'm not pointed up, it's now going to be better for horizontal stuff, better for vertical stuff. The last feature I think I have on here right now, and there's still room for a couple more, is if I tilt down and press C, it will show me where all the dirt is left, which is helpful in this game when there's like just a little bit and you can't find it. So it's kind of a semi-cheat mode. And I got to give credit to C. Grover from our community, who has helped a ton with calibration code and other code that's been really useful for this project. And he's got a great playground, Adafruit playground page up on this. And I'll also be including that info in the guide that I'm writing up in the next couple days for this. So if people want to use this either for PowerWash or any other project that involves HID control based on some 9DOF sensors, this will be, I think, a good resource for people.
Yeah, and we can finally get those 9DOF sensors again. Those were so unavailable during the part shortages, but now we're about to put in like a couple thousand. I know we just got some parts in stock. Awesome. So yeah, it's there's so much we can put them in a video game player now.
All right.
Yay.
Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, JP.
Thanks.
And this week, we'll be playing your pick of the week, and then you have JP's workshop.
Yeah, come on by tomorrow. I got the workshop, and I'll be doing a CircuitPython parsec that's super cool. So come tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow. All right, Liz, how's it going? What you got going on this week?
Hey, so like 2 weeks ago, I did this sports display that's 4 RGB LED matrices, and I mounted it on my wall. And since then, I've added some more functionality. I added so that it will show a clock at the bottom. When it updates in a second, you'll see it. And it's also showing the weather, and there's a clock. And then I also added a feature where Noe and I have been started playing chess last week, and as we were playing all the games together, he was like, it'd be really awesome. We could like track how many times everyone's won. So then over the weekend,
I think everyone means how many times I've won.
Yes, he was on a winning streak at the time. There was a little bit of a twist on Sunday. So Sunday I added in the functionality, and I'm using the SMS messaging in Adafruit IO. So I set a feed for my wins, a feed for his wins, and then whenever one of us wins, I'll text that feed, and then the code is getting a count of the feed, and that's what's shown right there.
Oh, and who's winning now?
Right. So Sunday I had a really good day. I won 4 times, and he only won once, so he was pretty upset all day Monday. But he's making a comeback, and so now we're kind of more even.
Okay.
So
Well, now
we'll see.
there's proof. Like that's the thing. It's like you thought, like, oh, I'm going to be able to show off, but now.
Yeah.
Now you're showing off. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is good inspiration to study chess techniques.
Yes, definitely. And we watched Queen's Gambit while we were playing chess on
It's good. Yeah.
really up the nerdiness.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, Liz.
No
All
problem.
right.
Have a good one.
Nice work, Liz.
Thank you.
All right, Erin, what you got going on this week?
Hey, this is Sugar Bear here. I just went to Bay Area Maker Faire this past weekend, and I wanted to, if we have a little time, to show you guys a couple of pictures and see if and flip through some of the cool stuff that I saw there. So at Maker Faire, I actually put up an LED art installation. This is my installation of LED jellyfish. They're running WLED on an Adafruit Pico, Cutie Pie Pico. And it's a pretty cool install. They do all kinds of colors and fun things. Let's see if I can do. It was a lot of fun. And I put them up in this big bare industrial room. And then that very same week, we had an LED fashion show underneath. So we are backstage with a fashion show. The jellyfish are kind of up in the middle there. And then a lot of the outfits were designed by Sarai Cohen and a couple of other designers, and it was put on by Make Co Fashion. And I wore my Adafruit LED drip dress and carried my jellyfish umbrella at the same time. So there was a lot of really cool LED tech on stage, which was great fun to show off.
They're so cool. It's so great to see these fashion shows happen again.
And this is at Mare Island for the Maker Faire that you went to?
Yeah. And this is the first Maker Faire, I think, in like 4 years. So it was
a while,
a lot of people coming together. We had our Diet Coke and Mentos show, which is kind of a tradition at the Bay Area Maker Faire, where they set all the Diet Coke bottles off and go crazy. And then just a lot of really cool costumes and neat stuff out there. This was one of my favorite things. This is a giant model of the solar system, which actually spun, and each of the planets is represented here, and they all spun within period of each other. There was the little muffin top cars. This guy, I got him to orbit the solar system for me, which just made me happy. This is my friend Nick with his giant robot called Marauder, and Marauder has NeoPixels in the legs and was built for Intel. Intel paid him to build this thing for a keynote address, and it roller skates. It's a giant hexapod robot that roller skates.
Yes.
I guess let him keep it afterward because he's been bringing it to
like nice, cute rainbow LEDs, but there's a skull and it's like scary. It's like it balances out pretty nice.
Yeah.
That's it, exactly. And it's all anodized aluminum and 3D printed parts. It's pretty cool. He was roller skating around the whole time. This is another art car. This is Abu the Horsefly, which is built on a Studio Ghibli design. And my good friend Kate, who is the maker and designer of that thing. And then I put up some of my LED costumes. So I've got a couple of Adafruit projects here. This is a corset that I built and a Color Thief, the Venetian Color Thief project. And I did a tutorial on, I think, 4 out of 5 of these dresses. And the 5th one was built from an Adafruit tutorial. So there was a lot of tech out there.
Is that the corset that you did for a guide a couple years ago?
It is, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I was just like, we did that, right? Like,
yeah, so that was a lot of fun getting to show all those off, and people just came by and took a look and saw some of my creations, it was really a lot of fun to just talk to everybody. So many people were inspired and excited. This is just kind of a quick walk through the room. The second weekend, this giant art car, which looks like a cuttlefish, it's inflatable cuttlefish, was parked right underneath my jellyfish. So I had my costumes over on one side here, and then I was sandwiched between Abu the Horsefly and the Peacock art car. And then this giant cuttlefish with these.
this is so cool. What
time? Right under the jellies. So it was kind of cool. We got to do this sort of under the sea under the sea feel. And then inflatable art over here, which was also at the Autumn Lights Festival. There was just a lot of cool stuff and a lot of female makers, which was a lot of fun. We're really getting out there. And then just a quick run through the parade. We had the giraffes and we had robots, and I mean, it was a really good maker fair. So
You're right.
steam powered bikes. This was another great one. She plays the piano and sings. And then, yeah, like that was my weekend. I actually ended up winning Editor's Choice Award for the costumes that I've been making.
I remember, we used to go around and give those ribbons. Remember we would give the ribbons away? Classic.
Yeah. Original Maker Faire crew when we did the first one. And that was one of the things that was great is you could run around and have Editor's Choice and more. Erin, also, you did videos that you posted up on our YouTube channel, interviews with makers, and folks can hear a little bit about their backgrounds, their story, and some of the things they made as well, right?
Yep. I interviewed a lot of different makers, and I think I posted 4 different videos of some of the people that I was meeting and some of the cool stuff that people are doing out there. Yeah. And I've got a couple more that I think I'll go ahead and post pretty soon too, as I kind of weed through all my media from the past couple of weekends.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great. It's a good sign that the world is still recovering from a lot of things over the last few years. But when Maker Fairs started to return, there's been independent ones. There's a Coney Island one, I think last weekend or the weekend before in New York, and there's a lot of independent ones that people run. But the Make ones with some of the Make team and some of the folks. I think Adam Savage came back for the Sunday sermon for this Maker Faire. It's kind of a highlight for like state of the Make. It's good to see it coming back. And then, there was no parts for a while, so it's hard also to do Maker Fairs when a lot of electronics weren't available. But thanks for going. And I think one of the most important things is showing and sharing the projects, because Maker Faire, not everyone geographically can get there, but having it with, the internet is bad in a lot of ways, but it's also one of the most amazing communication mediums ever. We can show all this stuff. So folks, check out our videos, get inspired, look around, and maybe we'll see you at a Maker Faire next year or so.
All right. Thanks, Erin.
All right. Thanks so much, Erin. All right. That's our show and tell this week. We're going to get ready for the next show, which is Ask an Engineer. A little bit of a preview for folks who watch us live, which maybe you are right now. We'll have some stuff in our store that requires you to be logged in, and make sure you have 2-factor authentication going. Keep that between us. We'll be live in about 10 minutes. We'll go over that.
Time to log in.
But if you know, you know. So just get your browser and everything ready and log into your account.
Make sure your payment's ready.
We're going to be doing stuff for our community and for the folks who watch live and who's with us every week. So we're going to try to do this. We'll see how it goes. But that's our show and tell with a little secret at the end. We'll see everybody next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Come by every week. We are here. Good example things you can do. Go to an event with makers. Take some photos. No, ask them if it's okay, of course. And then come by and then share the things that people make. Come on to the show and tell. You can show and tell the things that you saw, events, crafts, things that people built. We are here every week. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
See you in about 10 minutes.